we'll be looking at use cases for the e-commerce, specific to the e-commerce industry, and we'll see how Zoho SalesIQ helps you with those the issues faced by the e-commerce industry, right? So this is the agenda. We'll take a look at some of the problems that the e-commerce industry faces. The e-commerce industry is a lot more active than the usual, or any other business, right? Because you have a lot of products, you have a lot of customers, you have a lot of competitive companies, fighting for the top spot. So there are a few top problems that the e-commerce industry faces. We'll take a look at some of those today. For those who are new to SalesIQ and for those who haven't had a lot of experience with SalesIQ yet, I'll give you a brief introduction to SalesIQ. Those who are experienced with SalesIQ, please bear with me while we get through that part. And we'll see how SalesIQ helps you with those e-commerce problems that we talk about, right? And then we'll open it up for Q&A for the questions that really need a lot of time. So the e-commerce industry, some of the problems are common, between the other industries, and some problems are different from the other industries. So we'll take a look at how SalesIQ helps with generating more leads, knowing your leads and customers better, identifying potential customers so that you can drive the sales cycle faster, and how you can offer better sales and support so that it's easier for your support representatives as well as for the people handling sales, so that your customers also have a good time while doing business with your e-commerce industry, as well as how to get a better return on investment on your business's advertisements and investments, right? So we'll get started with a quick introduction to SalesIQ. So SalesIQ is one of Zoho's products. It's part of the Zoho One ecosystem. It integrates with your website or with your mobile app or with the social media platform of your business, and it helps you to interact with customers more easily. And it also helps you to take a look at, take a small peek into how your customers interact with your website or with your product or with your app, right? And it gives you a chance to also interact with them, to talk to them, rather than waiting for them to call support or write to you through email and stuff like that. So it helps you with visitor activity, what websites they visit. Like I said, it helps you talk directly to your customers on the website, both through chat as well as through call, however you want it for your business. It's very easy to integrate. And beyond just how the visitors of your website interact with your website or with your business, SalesIQ also gives you additional data points, such as where your customers are coming from, what sort of device they are using, so that just beyond that, you get additional information so you can tweak your business and you can modify your business to get better, get the best bang for your buck that you're investing into your business. And not just being easy to integrate with your website, SalesIQ also helps you integrate with a number of other products in the Zoho ecosystem, such as Zoho CRM and Zoho Desk, for example, Zoho Campaigns. We'll take a look at CRM in today's meetup, for example. Okay, and like I said, today there are a lot of beyond websites. Today, in today's world, businesses need to be present on multiple platforms, such as mobile devices, or even offer support through social media, such as Instagram and Facebook, right? So SalesIQ not just helping you integrate your customer service with your website, it also helps you take your customer service across multiple channels, such as phones and other, like social media platforms, through support for multi-channels as well as through a mobile SDK. So I'll give you a quick demonstration of the website that I'll be using for today's meetup. So it's a very simple e-commerce industry. It's basically focusing on music stuff. So you have wired earphones, wireless earphones. Like any business, it has an FAQ section, and of course a contact us where people can get in touch with you. So this is the basic, very simple website that we'll be using for today. And using this website, we'll see how Zoho SalesIQ helps you with these problems that we just discussed that the e-commerce industry faces. So the first part, Lead generation. For the e-commerce industry, generating leads is very, very easy. You just say, place an order. On your first order, you get 50% off. People sign up, right? It's very easy. But unfortunately, in today's world, where if you give your phone number or your email address to a website, there's a very high chance of having your data stolen. There's a risk of spamming. There's a risk of scamming, right? There's the problem with phishing. There's so much risks involved that people just don't want to sign up. And there are so many competitors in the business nowadays. So people take the time to compare products across different websites before they trust you with their personal information and sign up. So without this basic information about the leads, it's very hard to get a hold of your website visitors to continue the sales process, right? So what you can do is, of course, you can place ads to bring people to your website, but getting them to sign up either through the sign up form or getting them to give their information through the contact us form is a bit of a challenge, right? Because there's a level of trust that's involved here. So sales IQ helps you out by just nudging the customers to give you their information so that you can help them better, while at the same time, once you get a hold of their information through sales IQ or through CRM, you'll be able to continuously send them emails, say for example a monthly campaign, so that the chance of getting them to purchase something from your website is higher, right? So one of the ways that you can do that is the chat trigger. Instead of waiting for customers to sign up, or instead of waiting for them to choose your website among all the different competitors websites, or instead of waiting for them to fill the contact us form and give you their information, you can just through the chat trigger take the initiative, ask them, hey, how can I help you? And if they continue, get their name, email address, and start the sales process. So like I said, SalesIQ is very easy to integrate. I'll just show you. For this demonstration, I'm using Zoho Commerce because it's an e-commerce thing. And I also have my CRM here, since we'll be using that. So in CRM, if I go into my settings and click chat, right now I have it disabled, right? So if I get started, it lets me enable my SalesIQ account. And I also have my SalesIQ here. For those who are new to it, I just showed you this website that I've already loaded here. So it's just showing me as a visitor on this website. So like I said, you'll be able to interact with the website visitors who interact your website, right? So I've opened it here, and you can see that SalesIQ already shows it as a visitor. So I'm a returning visitor, how long I've spent on the website, what my IP address is, what website I'm on right now, my location. I told you beyond the usage statistics, it gives you additional data points and all the different websites that I've used and the time as well, right? And so you get a lot of data points, so you can take a look at how your website is being used by your website visitors, and you can also start a conversation from here directly. So this is Sales IQ. So just like CRM has a way to integrate Sales IQ with it, Sales IQ also has a way in which you can integrate CRM. The integration part is always very easy with the Zoho products, so you don't have to do much. So if I just go into the integrations and click Zoho CRM, I just click enable. So it's done here. And obviously, since I'm integrating CRM and Sales IQ, once I reload this page, it should be enabled here. So with eCommerce, my Sales IQ has been enabled. Now, we've integrated CRM with Sales IQ, right? But now I need to be able to track the visitors who visit my website. So I have to integrate Sales IQ's code with my website. So I'll just view the code here, just copy this. And you can do this even through CRM, through Sales IQ. So you just go into brands, which is just Sales IQ's fancy term for website. So I'll click eCommerce, installation. Like I said, Sales IQ supports not just websites, but also additional platforms like Android and iOS. So for now, I'll just go into website and copy the code. It's literally the same code that CRM gave us. I'll go into my page editor. I'll just place it in the footer code, right? If you're using any other, literally, if you're just having a HTML page, you can just paste this code and SalesIQ will start working. I'll just show you. So if I just go into W3 schools, so this is just a random learning website, right? So if I just run the same code, you see, right? It's that easy to integrate SalesIQ into any website. You just copy paste the code and it will start working. So I've copy pasted it here. Instead of copy pasting it, I could also go into the site settings. I'm sorry. Go into Zoho Commerce settings and enable SalesIQ from here. So I'll just publish my website. Right. So it's already showed up here on my SalesIQ page, on my website. So it's that easy to integrate SalesIQ with your product. So like I said, chat trigger. So instead of waiting for people to give you their information and then you starting the sales cycle, you can just automatically invite them to share their information. Just give them a little bit of a nudge, right? So one way to do that is through chat triggers. So I already have this already enabled. I just created a sample one here. So if it's a new visitor, once they land on the website in 2 seconds, I'm going to send them a message, right? It's very easy to create this as well. So I'll just enable this for now. So I just give it a name. And I told you that SalesIQ offers a number of data points, right? So you know what page they're on, what search engine they're using, how many pages they have accessed, what browser they're using, which country they're from, and so much more. And if you like, I've just turned on CRM, right? So from CRM, SalesIQ can also take details such as the leads, deals, contacts, and accounts. So you have so much to work with. So for now, just for the sake of keeping the demo simple, I've added the new visitor to be a chat to be triggered to the new visitor. See, so in 2 seconds, a chat has been triggered. So if I start this conversation, it asks, how would you like to be addressed? I'll say Charles and just an email. This is the default flow, right? And SalesIQ shows that somebody named Charles has started a conversation, right? So I'll just ignore this for now. And this person, Charles, will also show up as a visitor on the website, on the live view, right? So you have these two also, which I was using so far. So this is one, and this is the other one. So it's that simple to get a conversation started with your users. And once this person leaves the website, it takes a few seconds. This person will also be added as the lead in the system, right? It takes SalesIQ a minute or two to wait for the person to leave the website because you don't want your CRM to be spammed with data. So in a minute or two, this person, Charles, will show up as a lead in your system as well. So without having to wait for people to give you their information, of course, you're not going to show this pop-up every time a new user shows up to your website in 2 seconds. So that's just for an example. So if you decide, say, for after 10 minutes, you want to ask, this person seems like somebody who could give you business, but they haven't signed up. After 10 minutes, you start a chat trigger, right? Maybe set this to 10 minutes, or maybe after they visit 10 sites. If you think they're a potential lead, you send them a chat invite. So, okay, maybe it needs a little bit more time. So that's how, using SalesIQ, using the chat trigger, you can kickstart the sales process without waiting for the people to come in, right? And of course, with this, there's a lot of spam that could happen. So SalesIQ also has a way in which you can limit the spam. You have a lead scoring system. So every single action that can be done by a user can be added as a filter and points can be given. So each person is given their own score, and you can choose for a person to be added into your CRM only if they reach a particular score. So in my settings, in integrations, under CRM, under CRM configurations. So right now it's 0. So anybody with the 0 score will be pushed into the system. So if I say 1,000, only somebody who has a score of 1,000, as they add points as they use the website, till they get 1,000 points, they will only be in the SalesIQ ecosystem. Once they get 1,000 points, they'll be qualified as a lead and be pushed into the CRM. So it's a small way in which you can make sure that your CRM isn't spammed. So like I said, because I added my information in the chat that popped up on the website, Charles has been added as a lead into the system. So Charles didn't have to sign up. He didn't have to enter his information in the contact us form. Once you decide that somebody is, a potential lead, you can just nudge them to give them your information. So like I said, if you take a look at this, SalesIQ has already filled in the location information where I'm from. And since I have SalesIQ enabled, there's this new tab that shows up, new module that shows up. If you have SalesIQ disabled, this will not show up. So this is a visit. So every time somebody comes to your website and leaves your website, it will be tracked as a visit here. So this again gives you a lot of information, what kind of person visited your website, the information, how long they spent, what URL they visited, their browser information, and what different pages they accessed on your website. So you don't have to stand behind your website visitors. If you just install SalesIQ, I hope I'm not sounding too creepy. You just install SalesIQ, you'll get a lot of information about how your website visitors use your website. So you'll be able to kickstart that sales process a lot easier. So knowing your leads. The first problem was getting leads into the system, right? Because people have trust issues and they don't want to give you their information. What if somebody chooses your website, chooses your business, and they want to give you that information? What if they enter the data into the contact us form? How do you start tracking them at that point? Because we learned how to track them using the chat that showed up, right? So if they enter the data into the contact us form, how do you track them? And what if before somebody starts using your system, becomes a customer, in some other way they're already added as a lead or a contact into your SalesIQ, and now that same person comes to your website, how do you start tracking them? How do you know that that person in my system is using my website in this way? Because if you don't track that, what you would probably do is your support representatives, they look at all the contacts and they just can't call them one by one, right? And they'd be like, hey, do you want any products? Or you'd probably automate an email. But if you were able to track those same people who are already in your leads or contacts list, you wouldn't have to do all that, right? They would themselves, by using your website, give you that information, how they are using your website. So this is another way in which SalesIQ has a way, right? So using the contact us form, you can track your visitors. And even if the visitors are already part of your leads or contact modules in your CRM, you'll be able to track them. I'll just show you how you can do that. So I said it's a CRM form, right? So let me open the CRM form. Okay. So this is the website. So on this contact me page, I already have this information, right? So anybody who adds this information will automatically get added as a lead into the CRM. That's how I've configured my CRM form, right? But the problem is they're not getting tracked. How do I track them? So once you enable CRM and SalesIQ, once you integrate them both, you just go into your form and edit it. You see this field shows up, visitor tracking enabled or not. So all you have to do is you just enable, say, CRM and SalesIQ's integration, and you come and edit this form because you'll have to replace the code for the form in the website, right? So you just turn this on and save it and replace this code. And anybody who fills this form, not only will they be added as a lead or a contact into your system, however you configure it, SalesIQ will automatically start tracking the usage information as well. So it saves you that one step, right, of having to ask them through the chat section. Okay, so this is those who give you that information. So imagine somebody who is already a lead or a contact in your system, right? How do you connect their usage on the website with their data in the system, right? So for this, let me just create a dummy lead. Let's say Samuel is at test.com. So for now, there's no other mandatory field that's required here. So I'll just save this. So Samuel is already a lead in the system, right? But I don't know. Charles came through SalesIQ, so I know some data about him. But I don't have that data about Samuel, right? So I want to track him, but I don't know where he's using my website. I don't want to ask him again for information because he's already a part of my system. If he's using my own business and I ask him again for his name and email ID, it just sends a bad impression of a badly managed business, right? So I don't want that. So again, SalesIQ makes it very simple. Of course, email is one of the very basic yet crucial ways of communication that's used by businesses for decades. Wait, okay, at least a decade now, right? So using CRM, you would probably have scheduled an email that goes out maybe once a week or once a month to customers and prospective contacts, right? So here, let me just send an email. This is an email that's going to Samuel. So if I just click this arrow here, it says Zoho SalesIQ link. Once again, because I've already integrated CRM with Zoho SalesIQ, this shows up automatically. Let me give my website's information, right? So you see this data that's being added here. SalesIQ name equal to Samuel and SalesIQ equal to email, the email ID, right? So this doesn't have to be an individual email sent to an individual customer. You can select this email and send a bulk email, and everybody would send an email with a customized link, right? Which once they click, the website will automatically get this information for each customer, and it will automatically send it to CRM, and the tracking would automatically connect between CRM and SalesIQ. You don't have to do anything else. You just have to make sure you create this Zoho SalesIQ link here, right? And the integration does all the work for you. So for example, I've already copied the email, the link that I want to send Samuel, right? So right now I don't have any information about Samuel. So if I just open here, the same link, right? So SalesIQ knows that Samuel has come to the website. So you see, Samuel is currently online. I didn't have to do anything. Samuel didn't have to do anything. Samuel only had to click the link in the email that he received. And SalesIQ knows that Samuel has come to the website, right? So SalesIQ knows that Samuel has come to the website and has already updated it in CRM. So if I open Samuel, again, this data will probably get updated once I leave the website. So you already see that the integration has already begun and the tracking has already begun. So it's very easy to track people whether they don't give you their information, to nudge them into giving you their information, as well as those whose information you already have. Is very easy to track them with SalesIQ. Okay. So now we've talked about getting leads into the system and how we can track the leads who are already in the system, right? So now getting leads is very easy, right? Everybody who qualifies, maybe your setting is everybody who spends 10 minutes on the website, you pass them as a lead into the system. Or once they reach a score of maybe 100 or 1,000, you pass them into the system. Let's say you get 10 leads like that, right? Before you used to get 1 or 2 through the sign-up form. But now you're getting 10, right? Now that you've integrated SalesIQ. Let's imagine that lead number 9 is somebody who will definitely give you business. But lead number 1 to 8, they qualified through the lead score, but chances are they're not going to give you that much business, right? They're like a cat on the wall. They might give you, they might not give you. So the usual way of doing things is you have 10 leads. Your support team or your sales team take them one by one, right? They contact them one by one, or they write all of them a mail, right? And the first come first serve process, right? You schedule a mail or a call with each person, and by the time you get to the ninth person, by passing all the first 8, the 9th person might lose interest, right? He might take his business somewhere else, and that's something that we really don't want. So even though getting a lot of leads can be advantageous, in this situation, it can turn out disadvantages because somebody who is potentially, a customer ends up leaving the system because we delayed. So it's very discouraging for the customer because he gave you his information, hoping that you'd contact him, but it delayed. It's very hard for the sales and the support personnel because by the time they reach number 9, they have to sort through 8 people who didn't give them any business. So that's going to get really frustrating, right? Especially for a business that can get a lot of leads, has really good products, really good delivery services, really good warranty uh, agreements. You might get a lot of leads, right? But by then you sort through those leads and find somebody who actually gives you business, it can be very hard for the sales and support person. And like I said, of course, lead number 9, who's a genuine lead, you end up losing them. So Sales IQ helps you with this as well. There's one way in which I already told you, by setting the lead score, you can filter out junk leads, right? Another way, like I said, since you've already integrated CRM with Sales IQ, have this option called triggers. So it's very similar like the chat trigger that started, but you don't have to have a chat started every single time. For example, so let's say this lead status is not qualified yet, right? And if their score is greater than 10,000, right? So I don't want the salespeople to wait, this customer to wait till the salespeople go one by one, right? So if they are not qualified, but the score is greater than 1,000, I'm going to push information to Zoho CRM, right? So I'm going to say, mark this person as pre-qualified, right? So if they are not qualified, I'm marking them as pre-qualified. So the salespeople there in CRM know that this person doesn't have to be a part of the queue. You can contact them immediately, right? So stuff like this, you can combine all the data that SalesIQ gives you with the data that comes along with the integration with CRM, and you can perform actions like this so that genuine customers, genuine potential customers, get the importance that they deserve instead of waiting and being disappointed that nobody contacted them. And of course, if you pre-qualify somebody and they turn, the salesperson contacts them, the sales IQ or the salesperson or the support person, obviously they find it better rather than having to sift through junk leads. When they actually get a chance to interact with an actual customer, it's a lot more rewarding job to do, right? So using these filters, you can filter out junk leads. And like we just saw, SalesIQ not just shows you the rules for this data about the the lead or contact. For example, if this person who's visiting your website, if the deal, they were a part of a deal, but the deal was closed as lost, which means you lost this customer and they're coming back to your website, right? Or the deal was won. That means they already bought something from your website and they're coming back, which means they liked your service. They liked, the products that they bought, and they're coming back to purchase more, which is another way in which you can target customers without, letting go because of the queue, right? So if somebody is a customer who took their business elsewhere, right? So if the deal was lost, or if they're comfortable with your business and they like your business and they're coming back, if the deal was won, you can pick them out. You can cherry pick those customers and make sure you give them the appropriate importance that they deserve, so that you don't lose future business from your customers, right? So using those intelligent triggers and the data that SalesIQ gives you, you can do a lot of things. It's just a matter of piecing together the puzzle, the pieces of the puzzle to get the picture, right? There are so many combinations of things that you can do with SalesIQ, especially when you integrated with a powerful app such as CRM where you have so much data, it's very, once you do it, it's very hard, to lose business and lose your customers. Okay, we'll go to the next one. Inefficient sales or support. So I don't need to ask for a raise of hands, but of course I am very confident that we would have, all of us would have called some company that we would have bought some products from, and it would have been just one phone number, right? And you have to wait for like 2 minutes till you get your chance, and then you explain your product to somebody, your problem to them, and they don't understand it, or they say, let me redirect you to somebody else. I don't, my department is, I only attend calls. I'll forward you to sales, or I'll forward you to support, I'll forward you to warranty claims, right? So there are so many departments in a company, especially when a company is big and there are multiple departments, such as for a business such as an e-commerce business. You have these multiple redirections that happen. The customer is frustrated because he has to sit through that painful that waiting music whenever they put them on hold, right? And they have to explain the problem to multiple people multiple times. It gets frustrating by the time they get a solution for that problem, right? And like the previous problem, the sales people or the support people, they just forward people, right, till some customer comes to them with a problem that they can solve, right? So it's frustrating for the people as well, for the people working at the business as well. So SalesIQ has a solution for this as well. So we already saw how SalesIQ can take the initiative, right? So when they land on the website, how a chat can be triggered. So the same way, initiative can be taken by SalesIQ to solve if it detects that maybe the person has a problem. Instead of waiting for them to pick up the phone and call you, or waiting for them to send you an email, right? SalesIQ can just detect, right? For example, let me be here. So in this triggers, if I say the page URL, right? If the current page URL, let's say contains, let's say FAQ, right? So if I detect that this person is on the FAQ page, and you probably want to pair this with time on the site. Maybe they spend 10 minutes on the site, right? You don't want them to be nagged every time they come to the FAQ page. So if you detect that this person is on the FAQ page for 10 minutes, you can start a conversation and proactively interact with them, whether they have any problems, and try to help out. This can be, maybe it's an FAQ page, or maybe they're trying to get in touch with you, or maybe they are on the wireless headphones page for a long time, and they go between this product and they go between this product. They don't know what to buy, right? So maybe you can track it using the products word in the URL, right? So maybe they're shuffling between products, and you can sense that and send them to a salesperson. If they're probably on the FAQ page for a long time, right? If you're going back and forth to the FAQ page, you can send them to a support person, right? So using the URL, you could sense the need of your customer and take the initiative. So you follow your customer where they're going. If they're going across products, they're trying to solve one of their problems, you can follow your customer. And since you already have data from CRM, you know if that person is already a customer or if they're a new customer, right? So if they're a new customer, you can send them to a random support person, right? But if they're already a person who has already purchased something from you, you could redirect them to the same person who sold them a product last time, or you could redirect them to one of your best salespersons, right? So if I go into settings, let me just close this. We have this thing called visitor routing, chat routing, and call routing, right? So let me just take, all of them are basically the same. So again, so here, once you set the rules, you choose which person you want the visitor or the chat or the call to be routed to, right? You can choose a specific operator. If I know Alfonso is one of the best salespeople available, I will choose Alfonso if this person has 10 closed deals, right? Or maybe this person is on the sales page, right? If I know that Kesha is the best, no, Sarah is the best salesperson that I have, and this person has already done a sales, has already purchased something successfully, I'll redirect this person to Sarah so that I know I'll get business, right? So again, like I said, it's just a matter of putting the puzzle pieces together. So you follow your customer, see what page they're on. If you know if your customer is a new customer or an old customer, use your best resources that you have to make sure your business, that person doesn't take their business elsewhere, right? Instead of waiting for them to contact you, you take the initiative, send your best resource to them and solve their problem or help them make that, close that deal, right? Imagine this is all nice and fancy, right? But your support representatives may not be there 24/7. And that's why SalesIQ has an option called Zobot. Those who are experienced with SalesIQ, of course, there's no way you would have missed Zobot. Zobot is one of the best features that SalesIQ has. So Zobot is basically a chatbot that can answer questions on your behalf, just like talking to a human person. For example, you may not be there, a support person or a salesperson may not be there 24/7. Or imagine a question like, how do I reset my password? How do I return an item, replace an item? So these are all very simple things that don't necessarily need manual intervention, right? It doesn't need a support person, a human support person like myself to answer questions like this. So if a bot can be scheduled or configured to answer questions like that, it's very, very easy, right? So I've already created a bot here, and the creation process is very simple. You choose whether you want the bot to activate for all visitors or custom visitors. I've configured it for if the URL page contains FAQ, right? So if somebody comes to the FAQ page, after 5 seconds, this bot will trigger. So let me just turn this on and close this. So if I open this, just wait for 5 seconds, right? Because somebody might visit the FAQ page a lot. Maybe they're an introvert like me who, dreads talking to random customer people, on the internet. So maybe I want to, go through the FAQ a couple of times, and maybe I still don't find a problem, find a solution. For example, how do I return an item? Could have 3 simple steps. Fine. But how do I replace an item? Could have 3 complicated steps. Somebody, maybe like my grandmother who's using a website, she may not be tech savvy as, you might be, right? So they need help, right? So if they're coming to the FAQ page often, you can just schedule a bot, right? This doesn't need manual intervention, right? So you can just schedule it to ask, do you need help with anything? So they just click change password. I'll just skip this for now. And the bot is configured that if they choose change password, a link is given, right? So this it took 5 seconds, right? The bot started up in 5 seconds and the solution was given in the next 10 seconds. You will not, even in your wildest dreams, find customer support as fast as this if human intervention had to be involved every single time, right? So it's very easy to configure this as well. The bot detects that they are on the FAQ page for a long time. The bot can be configured, right, to offer a solution without the need for manual intervention. And just like human beings, may not be available all the time. Maybe all your operators are helping somebody else. You could just have this bot configured to work 24/7 if you needed to. So this bot has been configured. So if they choose change password, it's configured to just give you a link to help you change your password. Right? Like I said, very simple solution for a very simple problem that absolutely didn't need manual intervention. Right? So you just go into Zobot, and the codeless bot builder is very, very simple. So you can just right? You have a number of cards like this that can be added. Let me just create a new one so I can show you the card library. Right? Like I said, these bots can be made to work across different platforms, not just your website, your mobile apps, or even Facebook, Instagram, and whatnot. And it can work during business hours, non-business hours. Everything is completely customizable. So for now, I'll just say all visitors, right? So there are a lot of cards that can be added to this bot, right? In my previous thing, I had shown a choice, so that people can choose. And once that choice was chosen, I used a criteria router to choose to select to find out which choice they'd chosen, and I just sent a link. Right? You just drag and drop, or just there's so much that can be done using these bots. We actually have a 101 series on the developer community website that Divya had shared. So if you want to learn more about bots, you can just take a look at it. So through these bots, as well as the chat triggers and the filters that come with the integration, as well as natively with SalesIQ, you can do a lot through these options instead of waiting for your customers to get in touch with you for support. Right? You can just offer your support and sales help as soon as possible, so that they don't leave, so they don't take their business elsewhere. And of course, return on investment is crucial for any business, right? You can put up ads in multiple places, but they can be effective maybe only in a few places or across a few platforms. The sales process can take a long time, right? The sales can finish only when somebody purchases the product. Only when somebody purchases the product would you know that there's a demand for that particular product, right? So the data is very slow and you have very limited data. For example, if somebody chose product number 4 on your website, you don't know how many products that they compared to get to product number 4, right? And since it takes a long time to help customers, the rate of deal closure also is very slow, right? So all of this affects your return on investment. So with Sales IQ, like I showed you, if I go into this lead, it shows that Samuel has come from the state of Tamil Nadu in India, right? So if for my business I chose to place physical ads, based on where my leads are, I could integrate this with Zoho Analytics and find out where a lot of my leads, where a lot of my contacts are, and I could choose to place physical ads in those places. I could prioritize that. Or if say my visits, I have so many visits here. If I can see where my visitors are coming from, for example, if they are using a browser, or maybe if the support has come through a particular social media, if a lot of my visits come through Instagram or Facebook, I could choose to place ads on Instagram or Facebook rather than spreading it out over multiple places, right? So in this way, you can use the data that you get through SalesIQ and through the integration with CRM and other products, and you can choose where to invest and what products to invest in instead of, again, wasting money unnecessarily on the whole range of inventory that's available in the world today. And of course, any business today, you need to have more platforms because not everybody is sitting with a laptop. And even if they're not in front of a laptop, if they're using your phone, right, not everybody is opening a browser and visiting your website. So you need to offer your services across different platforms, such as a mobile app. And you need to support your website visitors coming to help you through multi-channels, right? You can't wait for them to send you a phone call or an email or talk to you through a chat that shows up on the website, right? Nowadays, people just go to your page on Instagram and they just send a message, and you get the message right to your support on SalesIQ. So you don't really need a website. Using SalesIQ, you can integrate SalesIQ's SDK in a mobile app, or you can also have these different social media enabled so that you can get your visitors, support your visitors through the website, through the different social media platforms. So for example, if somebody sends you a message through Instagram, For them, they'll be seeing Instagram messages. But for you, those messages show up to you in your sales IQ, right? Those messages are going to show up here. So there's no difference for you, but your customers get all the benefit, all the convenience, and the chances are higher that they'll stay on your website and give you their business, right? So that is another way in which Sales IQ offers more support. So this is it for today. We looked at Sales IQ, what Sales IQ is capable of doing and what it does for your business, how you can generate more leads with Sales IQ, the leads that you already have in your CRM, as well as the customers who are willing to give you their information, how you can track them and learn about their activity so that you can promote your products better, invest in better products. We saw how SalesIQ helps you with that. Even though you can get a ton of leads into your system, how you can prioritize, target the important leads, the ones who are more probable, have the higher probability of giving you business, how you can target them. Instead of waiting for customers to get in touch with you, if they have a problem, if they have a problem that they are hesitating to get in touch with you, or they don't know to get in touch with you, but they're spending a lot of time on the website. You saw how you can offer them efficient sales and support through Sales IQ. And of course, since Sales IQ gives you a lot of information and data points about how visitors are using your website, you can get, where to place your ads in what platforms, whether they're online or offline. It gives you a better idea so you can get a faster and better return on your investments. And of course, instead of just being able to support websites, SalesIQ also helps you through mobile SDKs for your native iOS applications, as well as for React Native and Flutter apps, as well as being able to support customers who come to your website through Instagram and other social media.